Hello, everyone, and welcome to Hallows Vale Episode 5 Consequences. Now, luckily, I have set up some security systems, so Chatterbox will not be interrupting our stream today outside the context of the game, which is nice. I want to kind of, before we go on introductions, remind people this is a horror campaign. There will be graphic descriptions of violence. We all have lines and veils that we as a player group and GM have agreed to. We set this up before we started the game, and there are safety tools in place for the players. I can't safety tool for you, the audience, so your own keep your own safety in mind as you're watching. If you don't want to keep watching, hey, no worries. I know I'm a monster. It's fine. The world's a really shit place at the moment, and there are some horrible things happening in the world. There is currently a bundle for games that has 10 quid of great games and some really good TTRPGs in that will support humanitarian aid going into Gaza. So I would definitely look for that. I think it's on itch.io. I wish I got the link before we started, but I was a few things going on. But I would heavily suggest going to support that, and yeah. So, anything else to say before we start? No? We're halfway through the season. Welcome to the halfway point. If you haven't caught up on the previous episodes, I apologise for tech issues on the previous episodes. We are now in a way that I think we're pretty stable. So from this point on, it will be great. And if there's, I don't know, anything more that I run afterwards, it's going to be fucking perfect. But luckily, the best episode was last week. No offense to anyone who disagrees. Thank you very much, Alex, for posting that link in the chat. Great. I think that's all the things that I wanted to chat about before we started. So let's go round and introduce ourselves. Last week I started with Magpie, who is slightly wonky on the overlay, so let me fix that.
Am I wonky or is this overlay wonky?
It's the overlay, but
I'm stacked on
Or
books right
is
now. You're currently stacked on Salvage Union, Tales of Lovecraft, The Dream Quest of Unknown Kadath, book on Arnhem and Dracula.
It's just like I placed you in the wrong place, so like you were covering up your own name. But we'll start the other way. So hello, Alex.
Hello. Hey, everybody. Thank you for being a part of this. I'm Lex Wilson. My friends call me Alex. I use he, him pronouns, as does the character I'm playing, Asher, who last week died, but also returned from the dead, just like Jesus.
Well, we'll see if we can fix that, shall we? Blue, hello.
Hi, I'm Blue. You can find me on the internet under Sanguis Blue. I go by she, her, and so does Ace, aka Alessandra, who I am playing. And I didn't die.
No, but maybe you did something else. Hello, Vice. Vice? Can you hear us?
Back.
Okay, now it
No,
works.
I can hear you.
Sorry,
Okay, wait.
my internet connection is a little bit wonky.
Yeah,
Hi, I'm Rice Cakes. I use she, they pronouns, and I am playing Jules, who uses all pronouns, mainly they, them. That's kind of it, apart from the fact that I made the art on the overlay. Haha.
Yeah.
Ha.
And let's never forget that, because it's fucking good art.
It's so good.
There's more coming. I'm working on it. I just have a very busy schedule at the moment.
I'll let the commands catch up with us for a second. Despite the fact we haven't got to Magpie yet. So, Hector, hello.
Hi. I am Hector. I am my pronouns are he, they. I am playing Antonio, whose pronouns are he, him. Really excited to be here and get involved in some spooky stuff.
Great. And then finally, Magpie. Hello.
Howdy, I'm Magpie. I use she, her. I'm playing Elsie, she, they. I'm gonna try and not kill them this episode. Touch wood.
Great. And our canvas. No, we fixed it. Carl, come on, Discord. These technical issues don't exist. You're ignoring them. Thank you. Cool. So, last time, we had our characters stuck in the arcade. Elsie and Ace and Asher had been pulled into an arcade reality by Chatterbox, while Hector had been locked inside. Sorry, Antonio. Let me read the names right. Antonio had been locked into the arcade room in the real world, and Jules was off with the spooky goth boy, gender neutral, and you know, they were having a good time. Found a spooky cave with some nice pool in it, and that was all good. The game proceeded that, in summary, after each game, there was 2 teams playing against each other in the arcade room. The arcade world, let me speak properly. The evil family versus our players. And every time one won a game, the other died. So in round 1, was Tetris round 1? Tetris was round 1. Elsie killed one of the evil family. In round 2, Asher got their butt blasted into little bits during Mortal Kombat. We then
You could just say killed. It's okay.
and then we had Crazy Taxi with Ace. And then, what was the final game?
Oh, it was Dance Dance, then Crazy Taxi.
Dance Dance, then Crazy Taxi. You're right. Okay. And anyway, due to the result of the game, the evil family has been wiped out by Chatterbox, not the players. You know, I mean, you know, they were forced into the game. It's a little bit grey area who killed who. You know, after those small mini games, they were pulled into an escape room that Callum built that they're very proud of, which was a lot of fun, and I'll hear no different.
It was fun.
And by working together as all 5, they found a way out, escaped Chatterbox's trap, and Asher was gruesomely resurrected from bone to flesh.
And you could just say resurrected.
And then, after leaving the arcade, covered in the blood of the victims of Chatterbox, which sprayed out from the arcade machines, we were introduced to, in my notes, they're here somewhere, the 2 lovely ladies who run the Julie and Maria. You know what? There they are. I just need to note down who they are in my notes rather than just random names hovering in empty space. And do I have a pen at this desk? No. Do I how? Well, that's something to sort in the break. Yes, so Julie and Maria, who own the diner next door. It's an American-style diner. And our players were kind of rescued to the safety, or seemingly safety, of the diner. They were given towels to kind of dry the blood off, which miraculously and weirdly managed to get rid of all the blood real quick. And Julie and Maria, we now kind of figured out, are part of the Rosalind family, who are witches, as we've learned back in sessions 1 and 2, where we met Lucy, the witch that was responsible for the events of the first 2 sessions. Ace had a real good time coping with everything that happened, and so did Antonio, who was feeling really good about seeing Asher die and come back to life. And after making a move on our dear friend Asher, time froze as Asher was faced with our good friend Ambition, who asked a very simple question, well, a very simple request to destroy Antonio. But our story doesn't start there tonight. Instead, we go to many years ago in the forests of Hallows Vale. And we kind of zoom into the forest, and there is a fire with some wooden seating arranged around it, and we see some groups of people. They're all adults, talking, and seemingly having some sort of event out in the forest around the fire. Are you really sure that we should be letting the children roam around by themselves? Of course, there's nothing to be worried about. Hallows Vale is our domain, especially the forest. And we follow the camera into the forests, where we find some young people. There's kind of a range of ages. We kind of pass by a group of young children who are accompanied by an adult. They're like, it's a real mixed group of like 4 to 10-year-olds. Then we get some like 10 to like 14-year-olds running around playing tag. And as we go deeper and deeper into the forest, we come across some teenagers who are playing around, and we cut into 2 young ladies. Do you think we should be out here? It's like getting really deep into the forest. Come on, what's the worst that could happen? I thought it'd be good, for us to get some time alone. Oh, yeah. Of course. Yes. And before she can get out the last words, there's a kiss on her lips, and they run off into the forest. And we kind of cut forward some time when the two are sat, breathing as if they have just done some sort of activity that I'm not allowed to talk about. I mean, wow. Also, I didn't know it would be... doing it in the middle of a forest is really weird. It was good though, wasn't it? I mean, I'm not complaining. It was magical, honestly. Completely magic. Yeah, I get the joke. Seriously, like, wow. I feel like more connected to the magic. Yes. I'm ruining it, aren't I? No, if you thought that your blabbering mouth was gonna stop me from liking you, why would I have just done what I did? You know what? That's a really good point. I hadn't considered that. No, of course you hadn't. And she puts her hand through the other's hair. And then another hand goes through their hair. A purplish form. Two sweet lovers. First love, it's powerful, especially for your kind. I can give you so much more if you just let me. And we cut to Asher in front of Antonio. So Asher next to Antonio, and in front of Asher is Ambition. It's simple, really. Destroy Antonio.
If Asher had any game or charm whatsoever, he would say something like, "Oh, honey, that's not what you want." But he doesn't. He doesn't have any game or charm, so instead he says, whatever. Nice try, Desire.
Oh, no. This is really me. We're not allowed to take each other's form.
Your ambition
Yes.
and what you want more than anything in the world is for me to destroy Antonio.
Listen, I'd prefer to give you a knife and make you kill your friends. However, I'm offering you an alternative. All you have to do is break his heart.
And that's what you want. Not for me to break his heart and no takebacks. You're not going to later claim I have to do it like on the top of a Ferris wheel. This is it.
Oh,
My
no,
obligation
this
to
is
you is
not the
done.
only request I will make of you, but it is the first.
I only got one thing.
So far. It's a trade.
So if I don't request any,
For every
if
thing
I
of
don't request
assistance I
anything
give
else from you, then we're done.
Yes, but you will. You always do.
Is it worth asking what happens if I don't?
Well, you just went to hell.
So I go back there? Is that
Oh.
what happens?
No, I take you somewhere worse. See, when you were dead, nothing, right? There was nothing. But where I will take you, there will be pain. Until I get bored.
The first trade that we've made, that I got something already, and you want this in return.
Yes.
This makes us even. So if I don't ask for it, and it sounds like you think I'm going to ask for more, but if I don't, then we're done.
We're not done. I still own you. You are my piece on the board. But I will not make any more requests of you unless I gift you more power.
You know how I know you're going to lose?
Why is that?
Because you think me destroying Antonio is some big thing, big checkmate. Have you met me? Everything I do, I fuck up.
Yes. Which is why
Everything
you're
I
perfect
care
for it.
about goes to shit.
That's why you're perfect for this task. You've got experience.
This
Listen.
is like asking for $1 million when you already have a lottery ticket.
Listen.
Ooh, what if he betrays his friends? Bro, I hurt them more when I try to help them.
Yes, and you see, the thing is, Asher, you're just a means to an end. You're not very interesting. Your ambition is to not be a fuck up. And to be quite honest, even I can't help you with that. So, the thing is, there are more interesting people that I would like to get my hold on. Antonio, for example, and destroying Antonio's heart will take him down a path that leads him to me. And trust me, out of all the people you want people to make deals with, it's me. Because, and I'll give you this for free, no trade needed, there's a killer amongst you. I am not asking you to kill. I am simply asking you to break one little boy's heart. And in return, he'll come to my arms, and I will give him the power to survive what is coming, to fulfill his ambitions. And I win the game. It's all very simple. I'll give you some time to think about it. But for now, time resumes. And Antonio, you would put your hand in Ash's hand and gripped tightly, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, first I did the pinky, and then
Yeah.
we entwined pinkies,
Cool.
and then I entwined my fingers in like with their hand under the table, holding it.
A force repels your hands. Asher, you have no control over this. Antonio, we as an audience all know it's a force that's pushed you aside, but for you, the experience was Asher has pushed your hand away.
Oh. I just my palms start to get sweaty, and then I just sort of do this thing where like I put my hands there and then I put them sort of in between my thighs and I hold them there nervously under the table, um, thinking maybe I scared Asher.
Yeah. So, time resumes. Everything's back to normal.
I put my hands on top of the table and fold them together, and I make the worst non sequitur ever. It doesn't matter what we're talking about. I say something like, the PlayStation version of Mortal Kombat is actually much harder than the arcade version. I just wasn't used to it. If this had been the PlayStation version, things would have gone very differently today.
That's because
Very
you
differently indeed.
adjust the difficulty.
And I sip my chocolate milk out of the straw like a man.
Oh.
I think after a little bit, the waitress, which is Julie, comes over and hands you all your dinner of your favourite meal from the diner. Because I think everyone's comes to the diner. There isn't many nice places to eat in Hallows Vale. There is the diner. There is also a restaurant and a takeaway, which is exactly what you would expect in a town like this. The restaurant is too expensive. The takeaway is real not good, but like in a way that if you're really drunk, it's perfect. And the diner's just like the standard. So yeah. Sorry, I'm just trying to see if I can fix the subtitles. For some reason, all of our subtitles are coming through as Hector for a second.
Hector, while you're in control,
Yeah.
have ambition. Release me from.
Hector, please, I worked so hard to get them to.
Okay.
I
Is it
put my
just
life
me
on the
that's doing
line.
this? Is it just me that's coming across as Hector as well? No, it's stopped now. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. Well, let's hope that has fixed itself. Sorry everyone, back to the show. Cool. So, yeah, you all delivered your favorite meal from the diner menu. It's very American. It's like bacon, eggs, pancakes, whatever else you get in an American diner. That's all I get. Like burgers, hot dogs. It's the good stuff. It's the bad stuff for your health, but it's the good stuff. That also are alternative options for vegetarians and people who do not consume animal products, which doesn't have a name yet in in Hallows Vale or on the menu. It's just called the alternative menu. So yes. I'm gonna go to Ace. Do you think you're still in the bathroom?
I think by this point I'm probably coming out.
Cool. Just before you leave the bathroom, could you roll me a grit check, please, of, let's say, 7?
Question: am I still in the bathroom with Ace?
Oh yeah, you
'Cause-
two were there. It's up to
Shit.
you if you're still here for this bit.
I don't think that Jules would leave Ace alone, so
Cool. Could Jules also roll me a grit check of 7?
yeah, sure.
I got a 6.
Lovely.
And I'm not gonna spend any adversity points on it because I feel
18.
like going through a bad time.
Great.
With an 18, can I help?
Also, by the way, we now have a new reward option where you can spend channel points to give adversity tokens. Now, the way that I'm going to do this is that when we get one through, I'm just going to go through the players like clockwise to give out adversity tokens. So we've received one adversity token today so far from Peculiar Planets. So that adversity token is going to go to Asher. The next one will go to Ace. The next one will go to Jules. The next one will go to Antonio. The next one will go to Elsie. Does that sound fair? Great. Jules, you feel a tug on the back of your coat. And you hear a whisper. You are not safe here. Ace, you blink, and you are covered in blood.
Again.
And in your hand is the body of Jules.
Okay.
And you look around the room, and the walls are rotting and falling apart. And you see on the floor that there are blood trails leading out into the main space, and Jules's body is battered and bruised and cut, and they're still leaking.
She immediately drops down to the floor to check if they're alive and is trying to do any form of first aid.
They are definitively very dead.
Oh god.
In fact, as you try to put your hands on them to give first aid, you only do more damage as their body kind of breaks at your fingertips. To the point where their chest your hand goes through and you reach an unbeating heart.
Okay, in which case she's just apologizing the whole time. She's just like, I'm sorry, I was trying to help, I'm sorry, I didn't do this. Did I do this? I didn't do this. I'm sorry.
The bathroom door creaks open, and you look out into the diner to see in the booth where your companions were sat. They are laid down on the table, and there is blood pooling underneath the table.
She's gonna run over to the table go to check if they're alive and then remember what she just did, and then she'll turn around and try and get to the kitchen to see if the other two are there.
The two witches are dead in the kitchen. One, Julie is slammed between the door, like the little door between the kitchen and the opening area. So there's like in this diner, there's the counter and like a small kitchen behind the counter, and then a bigger kitchen that has a window through to it. So there's a swinging door that goes between the two spaces, and Julie has been taken and slammed repeatedly by the door, and now their body just kind of hangs between the door and where the door hits the wall. While in the kitchen, Maria has a series of kitchen implements stabbed into them, and then you see their faces all burnt.
I think she would just stand there for a moment, kind of spinning on the spot, looking at all these bodies, before she just fucking bolts.
Yeah, and I think as you're spinning and you go to bolt, you feel a warm embrace, as if someone's hugging you. And you see your parents around you, giving you a hug. We are so proud of you. And you blink and you're back in the bathroom, watching as you go for the door.
She just collapses and just starts crying.
Take an adversity token, by the way.
Hey.
Can I turn around to see whose voice it was?
You know whose voice it was.
Okay, that just confirmed everything I needed. Shit. Jules is just gonna sort of stand there frozen for out of it, and going over to Ace and being like, whoa, what happened?
She's just bawling.
Fuck. Shit. Fuck. And Jules is just kind of pick him, not like pick her up, but drag her along. And just going over and looking around for any clues, so to say, like as to why this place.
I think we all froze for a second there.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently.
Sorry about that. We're just gonna go to a break screen real quick, and we're back in a second. Okay. This is on Discord's end because it's happening to all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We also
No, I tried.
the subtitles are fucked as well.
Yeah, I'm trying to fix the caption, and it's just not. Like, I muted caption in.
go. We're back. OBS hates audio apparently, and it makes me want to hurt it in lots of ways. I will try and fix the audio stuff before next episode. Anyway, back on with the show. Ace is in tears after having a vision of everyone being dead. Jules, you turn to face Ace and give them emotional support.
Yes.
And then if I can like, if she's not calming down, he's just gonna grab her arm and sort of go into the diner and look around for any sort of like clues, so to speak, as to why this place might not be safe. Anything suspicious, anything out of the ordinary.
Well, everyone else, you see this. You see Jules and Ace run out. Jules in tears, being carried out by being dragged out by Jules. They are looking anxiety-ridden, I assume. And then Julie turns and goes, "Are you two okay?"
Sure, yeah, no, it's everything is fine. Just a lot of emotions at the moment, right? Just happens sometimes. It's okay. Just needs a little bit of an outlet, right?
I can help you with how you're feeling if you really need it.
What sort of help? And Jules is just kind of like protectively in front of Ace at the moment.
I can help reveal, settle the imbalances within your mind and emotional soul with just a simple guidance conversation. With with yourself, your inner self. It's witchy stuff.
Jules is just gonna look at Ace. It's not their choice. They're just there to make sure, or in their mind, they're more there to make sure that Ace is okay.
I guess Ace is just gonna she's still crying, but she's not quite bawling anymore, and she's just gonna be like, they were all dead, and I can't get my head straight.
I'm gonna get up from the booth, slide out, and head straight towards Ace, and just be like, "Hey, why don't you come sit down?" And I'm gonna just sort of put my arm around Ace as Antonio's just trying to do anything to forget what just happened with Asher, and just get Ace to the table.
Great.
If they're okay with that,
Hey,
to
Ace,
sit down.
Do you want to give me a grit roll? we're gonna say it's a. Okay, I'm gonna ask you. Do you think this is difficult or easy?
I don't know. What's the question?
Are you able to control your mind and emotions right now?
Not very well. No.
Cool. This is a 10.
Cool. Great. 11.
Okay, you're fine. You see nothing in those plates, but the food that has been put in front of you.
Okay. Cool. I'm sure that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll let them lead me and get me to sit down.
I think Julie has come to near the table, near the booth, but hasn't approached. But I think the offer is still open for the help that she can give.
Yeah, I guess she'll sit down, put her hands on the table, and then after a couple of seconds of just like trying to like. She'll look over at her and just be like, "Okay,
I'm going to have to hold your hands if that's okay."
Yeah."
So they put their hands around your hands, and you feel a comfort in that hold that spreads up from your hands into your body, and you feel your eyes feel a bit heavy, and you close them, and you are somewhere comfortable, a happy memory of peace. Do you know what that might be for Ace?
It's probably on the pier with Elsie.
Yeah, and I think you're just sat together in a nice conversation, similar to our vampire seagull conversation, and you're laughing and you're enjoying each other's company, and the world feels so far away. It's nice and comfortable, and you hear Julie very softly, "We can stay here as long as you need."
That's so sweet.
Could you give me a grit check of 5?
16.
Great. Okay. I think in this moment you reach out, without you really realizing it, to Julie, and you go to her moment of peace, and you're in the forest, sat next to a young teenager. Your clothes are scruffy, a little bit unkept. Both of you kind of putting things back on, and sitting on like a blanket. And your heart is actually a little bit like, wow, I've just... And you don't know if it's your feelings or her feelings. And we come back to the pier. I'm sorry you experienced that. My mind... You reached into my mind. It's okay. I can keep you out. Let's not reveal things that maybe should stay private between adults. I know what you're up against, and they have power over our world, their world, and your minds. But there are ways of keeping them out. Somewhat. If you hold on to moments like this, because moments like this are things that they could never really experience. Moments of genuine happiness. Gems of our existence. The things that make being human worth all the pain. And we can get them back. We can find ways to get back to these moments and find new ones, but it will not be easy, and there will be suffering along the way. Even when things feel doomed, there is a way. You don't remember, do you? No, you can't. It's not possible.
What?
You're going to go and see Arthur later, aren't you? Tomorrow.
Yeah.
You've spoken to Guion on the radio.
On the radio, yeah.
They have a power beyond even I and my wife and our whole coven could hope to achieve. It's a power that has let hope remain. And there are a few of us who remember what that means. You 5 can't. But it's vital that you protect it. Because without it, all is lost. I'm sorry to bring this to a dramatic end. Would you like some more time here, or can I take you back?
No, we can go back. Thank you.
And very slowly you feel you come back into your body and back into the moment of reality. And the 5 of you have sat around the table, your favourite meals in front of you. Julie gets up from holding Ace's hands. Eat up. Can't fight the end of the world on an empty stomach, can we? Now, I suggest you all go home for tonight. It might feel unsafe, but there are limits to what they might do in a night when you go to sleep. They prefer a larger playing ground than your homes, so I think you'll be alright. So I'm going to let you lot decide if there's anything that you want to play out while we're still in the diner. You could question Julie and Maria if you'd like. They have kind of sat there, they've cut. So Maria's come out the kitchen and they're both sat at the bar. If there's any scenes you want to play out amongst yourselves, and then when we leave the diner, we'll go on break for 5 minutes, and then we will cut to home, or we might do home before break, depending on how long we're here.
Okay, big swing time. So, while we're all sitting there eating, I'm gonna, I've gone back to sitting next to Alex, because, like, I still have the crush. Alex's character to Asher. So, while we're eating, my character is gonna say, hey, Ash, do you wanna, maybe I could stay the night at your place? Or you could stay the night at my place, and we could be normal and just play video games. And you can use my shower, and I have plenty of extra like soap and stuff, and I have my mom always keeps like extra toothbrushes, and we could just go to school together in the morning.
I think I just want to go to sleep tonight.
Yeah,
like
no,
you,
we'll
maybe another
sleep.
time. Yeah. So I'm just gonna go home and go to sleep, and maybe we'll do it another time.
Oh,
This has been
that
a
sounds
lot for me. Yeah.
yeah, that sounds great. Another time, even though we might be dead. And then like I start like eating food. Like, he does say that out loud, like just sort of just goth gallows humor.
I think you audibly heard that laugh as well, all of
Oh,
you
no.
somewhere. But I think equally you all don't think it happened.
Jules at this whole thing is just going to sit there like this, looking at Asher, being like, "I'm gonna have a talk with you after this." Like,
And then I'll get up and stop, and then like I finish my food, and I grab my messenger bag, a little dramatically, and I say in Spanish to Maria, oh, is Maria like? Does she look Latina? Do I know that she speaks Spanish, or is she like just Maria because it's a pretty name?
I mean, it was originally just Maria because it's a pretty name, but
Oh,
I think we could go that way. I definitely
Yeah.
think we can have. Yeah, I think sure.
Yeah.
I think I'd say that she also is Hispanic. Yeah.
yeah, I'm just gonna, and I'm assuming because she's in Europe that she's probably either from Spain proper or maybe from Argentina, or she could be from anywhere. People from all
Yeah,
over
I
Latin
think-
America move to the UK.
I think
Uh,
her family might be. I think she's very UK born.
Okay, yeah, no, of course.
Because I mean, we've just seen her as a teenager in the past.
Yeah,
With
yeah, she could be like a
Yeah.
transplant, like me,
Yeah.
only from long ago.
Yeah, I think the way that the Witch Guild or the Witches Coven works here, not that you know the details of, her family moved and she was born here and allowed to be part of the coven, as was the family. But like the family was only allowed entrance to the coven after she was born here. Which is like
So
a thing.
yeah. I'm gonna say to her in Spanish, what it's gonna sound like, for those who speak Spanish is "Gracias para su brujería," and head out. And what that translates to is, in tone, "Thank you so much for your magic."
Cool.
And
I
your
think I
help.
understood that. Yeah.
But the direct translation is, "Thank you so much for your witchcraft."
Okay.
Like, and then and he's using it very casually, like a Puerto Rican would. A Mexican person, there's a very distinct difference between like brujeria and like healing, which has
Yeah.
a different word. But
I
my
think
character's is like gracias por su brujeria,
I think she
and
comes
it's very
over.
formal.
She comes over to
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Holds your hands. Replies in Spanish. I can't speak.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Be brave, young heart. I don't know if that phrase works in Spanish.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of emotional engagement that she's trying to give you, and you're not sure what it's referring to, but you feel in your hands as she lets go is a deck of cards.
I'm gonna slide that into my bag. Can I do it in a way that nobody sees?
Yeah, could you give me a flight check of 5?
Sure. Awesome. Okay.
Swift.
I just feel like I feel like it's not so much for my friends, but these bad guys are slick. Like, all right,
Okay, I'm gonna level with you. I'm gonna level with you, Antonio. There ain't nothing you can do that they won't see.
No, but Antonio's dumb. 8.
Yeah, cool. No one else will see this. But
All right.
yes, you've received a new deck of cards.
I'm gonna put that in my side satchel.
I think you can
Elsie.
interpret from the context. It's a tarot deck.
Yes.
Before Antonio can leave after the whole sort of like sleepover conversation, the main context kind of went straight over the head. I mean, if you wanted a sleepover, I've got like the gaming system, like it's brand new.
Jules is just gonna slowly turn and be like,
I like pause, and I'm just like, no, I'll be okay.
I
I
mean, we
just,
can set like the settee up, like it'll be fine. Like I might have to ring ahead, but like it'll be fine.
yeah, you know what? I'm
The
gonna,
others are welcome
you know
too.
what? You finish your food. I'm gonna go home and shower, and then I'll hop on my bike and I'll come over to your place and we'll play video games. As long as it's okay with your mom, because like I don't know, like being a dude and
She doesn't really
everything.
care.
Okay, well,
Well,
I
the
just,
others can come too if you want to, and then she'll just sort of like look between yous.
I think if I don't go home tonight, my mom will kill me.
oh yeah, you know what? I just remembered. I think my parents will probably be, yeah. Uh, another night, another night.
Yeah, we can get like a group get together.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get some sleep, and then I very embarrassingly, like, I do one last look at Asher, and then I just like put my hoodie up and just skedaddle out of there.
Does Ace take the offer?
No, Ace is throwing this burger down her throat, and is just generally not paying any attention to anything.
Great.
One piece at a time.
He's just
Yeah, I think we'll take our 5-minute break here, and we'll resume back home with everyone's home life. Yeah, if we could do a 5-minute break because we're gonna have a quite shorter episode this week because it turns out time is not our friend, despite the fact I'm dressed as the 12th Doctor. So we'll see everyone soon. Back in 5 minutes. Bye bye. Hello! Welcome to Hallows Vale Episode 5, Part 2, Electric Boogaloo. That is the official name of all Part 2s of the show so far, for your personal records, and the non-existent wiki. Okay. Before we leave for good, anything else anyone wants to do in the diner?
I want to talk to the Rosalinds briefly,
Mhm.
and say thank you. The headmaster,
Yes.
can he be trusted?
No.
Great.
I think you already knew that, though.
That the answer was yes, no?
That the answer was yes, you cannot be trusted.
Got it. Okay.
Have
Appreciate
you
it,
figured out
thank you.
why yet?
I have not. I have figured out nothing.
Tomorrow you go and see Arthur. But I think if you want answers, you need to go looking for them because they won't be handed to you.
And the Pantheon see us and hear us and everything else, wherever we are, whatever we do.
Inside of this town, there is nowhere safe from their eye.
Let's suppose you made a deal with one of them. How do you break it?
You can't.
That's what I thought. Thank you.
Unless you can't tell him. We have to try and help them figure it out. No, you know the rules.
You won't actually help me if that helps. I'll probably use the information incorrectly. So
You asked a question back in the arcade machine. You were asked a question, sorry. A mechanical question. There is a version of events that might seem very familiar to that question. That's enough. Okay. Sorry, we can't give you answers.
well, don't worry. I don't think you did.
No,
But thank you. I
No.
appreciate you trying.
we definitely did.
So I go back to the three friends remaining. I share what they just told me. Yeah.
You get the sense
And I say,
that
yeah, go ahead.
their answer was so intentionally vague and nonsensical that it would be impossible to figure out until the final session where Callum explains what they were talking about.
yeah, I figured that there was a way to interpret that completely for Asher. So before we go, Ace and Elsie, I just want to say thank you for succeeding where I didn't, and I know what we did in there was hard, and there are consequences, and it hurts. But you saved each other, and you saved me, and I appreciate that.
We stick together, I guess. We didn't choose this. And just kind of whoever's sat next to her will just kind of nudge into.
It's probably me, and I'm mouth full of burger, just like
Not a hard nudge, just like a
yeah. And while she's eating, she's just nodding at you, like, yeah, all right, yeah, good.
Anyone else? Final orders. Ring, ring, rings. Final call.
Elsie, do you have a second? I
Yeah,
want to talk to
sure.
you privately.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so we're talking privately. I don't want to burden you with anything extra if you can't handle anything extra right now. But I feel like I want to tell you something. Do you think you want to hear it right now, or you want to wait?
I've got big
I
pockets.
know that's vague, and I apologize. Great. You're smart. I Ambition told me something. I don't know if we can trust what he says, but he said that there's a killer among us. I don't know what to do with that, if he's just fucking with us, if he just wants us to turn against each other. But I also know that you're the smartest one among us. And if you know what to do, I don't want to tell everyone right now unless that's what we should do, because if I tell everyone and we all start, worrying about each other, that's the wrong thing. So I just need someone else to know, and I'm really sorry to burden you with it.
Elsie.
No, it's...
Go ahead, finish what you were going to say.
I wasn't going to say anything.
Roll me a grit check of 7.
Oh dear. Hold the line, caller. Grit check. That's an 8.
Okay. Asher, roll me a grit check of 8.
Oh, this is mean.
It's always the one that I need that I can't find. There it is, 10. 10. Natural 10 on the dice, so 11.
Nothing happens.
That's right, because I have grit.
Yeah, Elsie will just sort of... We can try and figure it out. I mean, it would make sense that he's messing with us. I mean, technically amongst us, like, there's a little bit of a kind of death rate associated with a couple of us, but nobody was a killer. It was just a happenstance. It was... Have you ever seen that thing where it's like there's someone tied to a railway track and then there's like 5 people and then you're in charge of the railway track? We've not got any control of the railway track. If anything, we can just split it and it hits both parties. That's kind of the level we're dealing with.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a killer.
Great.
I mean, what are your thoughts on it?
I don't think so. I can't imagine. If I go down the list, I mean, Ace is probably the most likely to save all of our lives. Hector has done nothing but try to help people. If anyone's a killer, then it's probably me, and that's accidentally because I, keep trying and failing everything. Yeah, I just can't imagine that any of us would do that. So. Good. I really appreciate that perspective. Maybe it's fine to tell people. Maybe it's not. I don't know, but we can figure that out tomorrow. But
Yeah, are you good as well?
no.
Okay, is this something we want to unpack now, or something we want to unpack when we've got a decent floor space?
Oh, I don't think it gets unpacked. So I appreciate the question. And at some point, maybe. But no, I don't think I don't think I have access to the suitcase.
Okay, well, we can figure it out when you're ready to put it down.
Thank you. And thank you for the invite. I'm definitely going to go home if I spend 2 nights away from my house. My dad accuses me of lacking ambition.
Oh, yeah, your parents are kind of. She'll sort of sit there with a pulled face for a minute. Yeah, I should probably get home too. I don't think anyone would have phoned after, but
Be safe. Thank you for
Go on.
talking to me.
I think
Thanks.
as this conversation ends, a thought crosses each of your minds separately. Elsie, your thought is you saw in the vision that Chatterbox showed you a theme park of your design that was a death machine. Asher, you now figured out why ambition seems familiar. He kind of looks like your dad. And you're not sure if he looks like your dad to everyone else, but he does seem to look a little bit like your dad. Now you think about it. It's the same, like, composure, mannerisms. And, like, the voice. When ambition speaks to you, he might not look... Like, the face is different. The hair's different. But the kind of... The way that he speaks to you, he's the same as when you feel like your father's disapproving of you. So that's fun. Okay. Anyone else want to do some diner business?
Elsie's gonna make some unholy concoction of just drinks from like the push machine, and we'll take with her. That's the only business.
Yeah, great, amazing. There's like, I tell you what there is though. These are like craft lemonades. They're not like brand lemonades. So like it's homemade lemonade, homemade raspberryade. Like it's, listen, the homemade lemonade is fucking gorgeous. And there's one that they serve which has sherbet as well in it, and it's like the best drink you've ever had. Anyway, that's just my little. That's a Callum thing that is really something they like.
Lemonade law.
Yeah, lemonade law. Anyone else for anything else? No. Great. So we'll start going home. I think we'll start with Hector, just because Hector might have to run off early, because time is not our friend. Are you still good for a bit, Hector?
Yeah, I'm still good for a bit. In an hour.
Cool.
I gotta skedaddle. A little less than an hour. We're at like 6 past.
Yeah.
So like on the hour, I have to be gone.
Cool. On the hour. Okay, we will be. Cool. I will try and end before the hour.
You're the best.
What is Antonio's home life
one
like?
last thing.
Oh yeah.
I give everyone my phone number, even if it gives away where I live.
Yeah. Oh, I take that.
Okay, Asher. I need you to roll me a brains check of 2.
To see if I remembered. Let's see. Oh boy. Come on, man. Haha. 3.
Everyone already knows where you live and where you're from, you moron.
Oh fuck.
They all know. They all know you're a posh twat. They all know. It doesn't. What? At what point in your life do you think I have perfectly arrived in town and no one's noticed that I come for money? Like
Jules is just gonna look at the number and be like, "We've been friends for years. The fuck is this?"
Also, in the UK, area numbers aren't a thing. In the same way.
Okay.
I don't
Like
think.
city codes.
The city codes, yeah, but like, so this is just the same for everyone. Like, it's not like,
Okay.
but for sure, I think that you did. Yeah, that was a good bit. Sorry,
Cool. Sorry, Hector. Go ahead.
Antonio.
No.
What
Yes.
is Antonio's home life? Who lives with Antonio, and what is the vibe?
I think the vibe is actually kind of homey. We live in we're not rich, so we live probably in like a little duplex or cottage. One room for me, one room for my parents, one kitchen, a little garden out front. It might be 2 stories, because my father has a good job, working for the city, but we're not like wealthy. Um, so my mother is probably like a homemaker and an artist, uh, and then my father is probably always out, probably commutes because he works for he essentially like works not for like Hollowsville proper, but for like the county, like
Mhm.
the area that over like I'm not quite sure how local government works in the UK, but my father is a part of has taken a job in the UK bureaucracy to oversee land use, particularly with the theme park.
Cool.
So that's kind of I think that's how Elsie and I became friends, was because I saw a bunch of flyers and things from my dad's work, uh because I think my father's trying to help the city figure out a way to either reuse the amusement park or rezone it or something. My character actually has not cared enough to pay attention.
For sure. I think so.
And
So this kind of
yeah.
house would be a one-story.
Hmm.
No,
Okay.
I'll tell you what it would be. Okay, this is
Okay.
this is not a detached house, so it is in a line of houses.
Hmm. Yeah, that's what I was imagining.
Yeah, there are the rooms you described, but downstairs is where the where the bedrooms are, and upstairs is one floor, which is where the kitchen and the lounge is.
Oh, okay. That's okay. So my
This is
character's probably adjusting to that.
Yeah,
Like,
this is a very British, weird,
yeah.
cheap
Is
build kind of house.
Yeah, that's so interesting because, like, in Puerto Rico, like the front room is like the living room, and behind the living room is the kitchen, and then usually there's a bedroom to the left, or on the left-hand side of the house, and this or upstairs.
Mhm.
Okay, but
Your
I think
garden,
my character.
yeah, your garden is
Yeah.
probably in front of your house, and
Okay.
and
All
it's
right.
probably on a hill. So like
Okay.
the houses are all attached, going along the side of the hill, with a little bit of garden in front, leading up. They are the
Yeah.
worst houses for old people, but old people all live in them as well. So like, your neighbors
Wow.
will sometimes be like stumbling in and out of their house,
Oh.
because no one built houses for accessibility. And no, like when someone buys a house in the UK or gets a house in the UK, they stay there because there's no social mobility, especially in this time.
Okay.
It's a myth.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what is your mum and dad's names?
Oh yeah. So it's in my backstory. Carmen Eva, or Carmen is or Eva, whichever one's easier for people in the town, is my mother's name, and Juan Carlos is my father's name. My mother is actually from Puerto Rico, and then
Okay.
my father is from Spain proper, probably from like Barcelona, um, originally, but he lived in Puerto Rico, so we live in like a blended family.
Cool. Do you think your dad's home?
Uh,
I would say it's about like 9:30, 10 o'clock when you get home.
oh yeah, Dad's home.
Yeah.
Dad's home from work.
Um, you would say they're both very caring. Are they strict at all, or is it a lot more like laid back?
No, I think they're more laid back. I think they're nice, and I'm just difficult.
You're just difficult.
I think Antonio's the problem in
I
this
think
family.
as you come through the door, you hear your mum upstairs, who probably greets you in Spanish 1st.
Mhm. Yeah.
Antonio, honey, is that you? I don't know what they would use instead of
Yeah,
honey.
yeah. Oh, yeah, no, I'm here. I'm sorry. I'm late. Just after I just went to hang out with my friends, my new friends. at school.
Oh,
Um,
that's lovely.
yeah, I did, and I'm just gonna sort of like hang up my leather jacket and my side bag on the hooks and head upstairs to just like go see her, and then
I think you'll find your dad is sat watching the telly.
yeah. I'm sorry I was so late. I lost track of time. Senora Maria, I went to her diner, and she fed my friends and I. We had a little bit of
Oh,
a rough
you should have
time.
said, listen, uh, did you manage to cover it, or do you
No,
need
no,
some
it's fine.
money?
It was on the house. There was
No, listen. Your dad kind of goes through his wallet
okay.
and takes out 10 quid, or as
Okay. Yeah.
which I'm just going to
Yeah.
call 10 quid because this is a British game. Go fuck yourselves.
Yeah, yeah. Oh no, I'll take this to Senora Maria like after school tomorrow and make sure
if it's
it gets in the
covered,
tip jar.
you know. But like, if you're going to be hanging out with your friends, I thought I would give you a little bit of something. You know,
Thank you.
when the development comes through on the park, we might be able to give you a little bit more. Kind of looks to
Yeah.
your mum, and they're
Wait.
very like,
This is gonna seem weird to my dad,
yeah.
but my eyes light up and I'm like, so like the park, how is that going? Is that all actually going to be fixed? Is there gonna be a new boardwalk?
I didn't know you had any interest.
Well, okay, that there's a girl I go to school with who I'm friends with now named Elsie, and she loves that park, and I'm more asking for her.
Okay, I'm going to ask a real funny question for you, Antonio. Do your family know you're gay?
Do they know I'm gay? They know I'm weird. Yes, yes. I
Cool.
think there was a big blow up right around like 14 or so before we moved.
Okay, cool.
And that things are better now.
Oh yeah,
I'll just loosely base it on my life.
yeah. I would say that maybe they were a little bit more accepting than the real world. But
Oh yeah,
I think
and my
I think
real world
I think
experience was
I
very
think-
accepting, so
I
they're
thi-
super accepting.
I think the upset was that means we can't go to your wedding.
Because it's 1990
It's
something.
1990, and like the world is more accepting, but maybe the outside of Hallows, the politics isn't great.
Yeah.
And also, like, I was really looking forward to seeing a wedding dress. Kind of complaints.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah. Well. There are some talks around selling off the properties along the front to kind of infuse it with a little bit of business. Knocking down the pier. Cleaning up the beach, bringing in some sand to create a seaside destination, and it's just not safe. You know, the structure is really all rough, and the money it would cost to fix it's just not worth it.
I mean, we gotta. You lived on the island for a long time, Dad, so I mean, I'm pretty sure you could figure out how to make a cold beach work.
Well, it just turns out these people, they don't mind cold beaches because they've got no other options.
Yeah.
We were looking
They
at maybe
fixed-
getting a lifeguard on the beach to try and encourage people to go into the water safely, but we do have to do some checks that, there might be wreckage that we haven't found of the shipwreck still hanging
Yeah.
around.
So, like, not for me, because you know me, I'm not interested in, like, government work, but, like, my friend Elsie, like, if you ever have, like, any internships or something, like, she knows the inside and out of that area, like, better than anybody, and, like, she's gonna go to, like, uni to be, like, an engineer and stuff, and I don't know, Dad, I just...
Oh.
Maybe she could help you guys
Yeah, I could talk to some industrial engineers and see if I could set something. Why don't you invite your friends round and we can host them? And your mum is very exciting at this prospect. Yes,
Oh,
I would
yeah.
love to host your
Cool.
friends. We
Yeah,
can
well,
give
well,
them some a
yeah, I'll,
taste of home. You know?
yeah, I'll talk to them, and I'm gonna go take a shower and head to bed. Oh yeah, and I joined the soccer team, and then I leave. Like I immediately leave the room.
I think you hear as you're having a shower. Did he say soccer team? Yes, I think he did. What happened to our son? Maybe he's finally settled into his new environment. It's doing some good for him, I hope. Yeah. Well, we'll do the best to give him what he needs. It was nice to talk to him about what's going on in his life. I hope this is the start of more conversations. I wasn't really expecting him to come up the stairs straight away. Yeah, it was very nice.
Yeah, I just
I'm
like reached
really-
out of the shower to the radio and like turned up the Morrissey that I have playing on the cassette tape so
I
I can
think
no
the last-
longer hear their conversation.
The last thing you hear from your mum is, "I'm really glad we moved here."
I think I'm just gonna turn the music up and maybe like cry in the shower. Like I really want my parents to be proud of me, but Hollow's Vale is awful.
It is, but as far as they're concerned, it's lovely. Great. Who wants to go next? I'll bully someone and pick them. Great. We'll go to Elsie. Elsie, what would you describe your home life like?
It's very relaxed. It's very kind of Elsie can, go and spend the night at the theme park and nobody really notices. She might get like, where were you last night? And that's kind of top and bottom of it. Yeah, it's pretty chill. It's only child.
Only child? Cool.
Only child. Bedroom covered in posters. Like, there's no wallpaper. It's kind of, you can tell that they got halfway through renovating and then got to carpets and went, I can't be asked anymore. So like Elsie's just got like a massive rug that she's clearly picked up from like a thrift store somewhere, just rolled out. It's homely, I think is the best way to describe it. It's got a few little kind of quirks to the house.
Who does Elsie live with?
So they live with mother and father. Mother is called Isadora. Father is Owen, Eoin, not Owen.
Yeah. Is Owen Welsh?
Yes.
Great. Do they get on with you? Or do they think you're really weird?
So Dad is utterly like as a bag of wet hens in the very best way. Works at the local garage. When Elsie is not at college, she is there being a menace, trying to like mess about with things, offering to help. Yeah.
Amazing. I think you arrive home. Isadora is in the kitchen, cleaning up after today's meal that has just been had, and Owen sat at the dinner table. Oh, give me a second.
Oh God.
Elsie, how was your day?
Oh yeah, yeah, it was fine. It was really fine. It was like, yeah. And you just see her cycle in like EXE error for like a minute, and then she just sort of bag down, flops down, I met up with some friends. I've made some friends.
Have you heard this? She's got friends! Isadora, she's got friends, I tell you!
Yeah, so like we went out to the pier again. I'm like this close to finishing the teacups. Like by next week I'll have them running. Like 10 out of 10, I will have the teacups running. And then what else?
I'll tell you what else. Speaking
What else?
Speaking of teacups, pulls out a box. I was looking through some of the parts in the garage that had spare left over, and I think that this might help you.
Oh, she'll take it and just like instantly start rummaging through it like a little hamster.
I think Isadora comes through and like, are you sure you don't want your father's help? I'd love.
No,
I would love to help. I can't wait to see it up and running again.
Oh no, I've got it. Like, I've totally got it. Like, some of my friends, they're actually really interested in it. Like, remember I was telling you, like, last year that I had some friends that were interested in it, and, like, weren't really interested in it. Turns out they were just trying to make a joke out of it. This time, they're actually interested in it.
Well, yes, I do remember that, and I did have very strong words with those families. And
You didn't, like, not, like, on, like, you didn't, like, speak to them, right?
Yes.
Oh, that's fine.
I have to look after my precious daughter, don't I?
Thank you. I'm getting better at it, though. I'm getting better at putting my foot down.
Well, seeing as you're finishing your first invention, and you don't need your dad to look after you, but I would remind you to be very careful of that pier. It could be dangerous. And I say this every time, and I know you're very careful, but it's really important that you remember this, okay?
Mhm.
Great.
We're always safe.
Well, I have another gift for you.
Another one.
Pulls out a brand new toolkit.
Elsie just kind of like freezes for a second.
Because I think we've established that Elsie uses like hand-me-downs and random unsized pieces. Is that right?
Oh god, yeah. It's like she's got like a little satchel that's just like Christmas cracker, like screwdrivers and just random things she's found, stuff left at the pier.
No, this
This
is a brand new set of like screwdrivers of multiple sizes, wrenches, like it's the whole kabang. It's like got a little box of the really small ones at the different sizes. It's got everything that you need. Listen, you've been helping out so much at the garage. I thought I would put a little bit of our money into a little pot for you to have when we could afford something. And it's taken a while, but we got there. And we thought this would be really good for you. Now, do you need some food? Mother's been cooking well again.
She's just kind of like, you look like she looks like she's about to start crying at any given moment, but like the good kind of cry. Oh, yeah, can this come with? Can we look at it while we eat?
Yes. And kind of move from his seat at the head of the table to the seat next to you, and we'll show you all the instruments. And Mother comes in with some food, and she sits and watches the two of you in kind of like this very nice moment of family. Yeah. I think, unless there's anything you want to talk to them about specifically, we can move away.
I don't think so right now.
Cool. Let's go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a hubba. Okay. Oh, Jules has got so many family members. Fuck that. Asher.
All right, this might be a short one. So,
how would you describe your
I go home.
family life?
Okay. So we live in a, you know what? We live in one of the smallest McMansions in a block of a lot of really big McMansions. It's still pretty big, and to reward to reward themselves, my parents have the nicest cars in the block because they are so humble about having such a small house.
There's a Jaguar.
My
Your dad drives a
Mhm.
Jaguar. I think your
Mhm.
mum. Oh, that doesn't make sense. What would your mum drive? Fuck.
A Nissan Figaro
Nissan Figaro.
in pink.
you know what? An imported Jeep Cherokee.
There we go.
Ooh.
I was thinking Land Rover, so Jeep Cherokee
Ooh.
works. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but Land Rover might be Land Rover would be more expensive, and it would probably be local. So, 'cause
Yeah,
I
I
think
think
were
a
or
Land
are.
Rover, but I'm just trying to think like at the time they were outdoor vehicles rather than like
Okay,
the
that's true.
the current
Yeah.
like Land Rover can also
Mhm.
have high end nice cars with
Sure.
heated seats.
All right, yeah.
We had one of those for a couple of weeks when one of our cars got taken
Right.
in. It was the fucking best car I've ever been in.
So Consumer Reports basically says that the Jeep Cherokee is like the safest car, and so like my mom got the first one, and now like other ones are popping up in the neighborhood,
Yeah.
but they're hard to get, so
Cool.
hers was first. So my dad is he's trained in law, but he doesn't actually practice law. He sort of helps negotiate deals, and it's not really clear what his title is exactly. But he's always on the phone, so we don't really have much of a relationship. My mom is very active in a lot of social circles, and part of that is part of the business agreement. And so she's even busier than he is. She is honestly like pretty kind. She's kind in a way that everybody in her circle is just nice, like not really kind, but nice and like fake nice. But my mom is pretty kind. But when she gets home, she isn't like now she lets it down or anything like that. But she's kind of out of kindness. So she's a little curt with me, a little like
Yeah. So
doesn't
this
have
is-
much left in the
this is
tank.
like- LA or American readers group, and she's the nice one, but the keeping it up outside the house exhausts her. Cool.
Yeah,
Interesting.
and so she's so she's so it really is kind of like a double income no kids situation, but they have a kid, and so you know that's kind of hopefully that explains some of
it
Asher.
does. I think as you walk through the door, do you have names for them, or are they just mom and dad?
Yeah, I call them mom and dad, but Charles and Charlotte. And you know what? They call each other Chuck and Chuck, and it's like I find it so like gross but like if I live another 5 years, I'll be like, oh, that's the one endearing thing that I would have really appreciated about them.
As you open the door, your dad just walks right past you on the phone. Chuck, son's home. They're American, right?
No, they're not.
Okay.
No.
Damn. I was going to have a fun American accent.
They can be.
No, fuck it. No, fuck it. Let's keep them Charles and Charlotte. Of course, he's called fucking Charles. Of course he's not fucking American. Yeah, ignore me. Yeah, and he's like already out of the room talking on the phone. I'm telling you, this isn't a good deal. If we settle for this, we'll be losing money by the end of the year. I fucking need you to listen to me. I am the man who makes these things happen, don't I? Am I not? Yes, I am. Thank you very much. Now, I can give us everything we need. You just gotta give me another week. Another week, and I'll get you a better deal. Where do you head to in the house?
I write a note and I leave it on the kitchen island, and we do have a kitchen island, NBD. And I write a note saying that joined the soccer team, will be away more.
I think as you leave the dining room / kitchen, your mum walks in.
Mm-hmm.
Not even going to speak to me, are you?
Hey, hey, Mom. I bet you heard about the deaths. We it's been a lot at work, or sorry, at school, and sorry I wasn't. I joined the soccer team, and I'm going to be pretty busy.
Well,
So,
you know, at
I
least
know
you're
you're
up to
busy.
something. That keeps you busy.
Yep.
Do you need any food?
How are you?
The fridge is full.
Oh, great, thank you.
I'm good. I just checking that you're still here. Haven't decided to
Yep.
run off.
Nope, still here. Love
Catch
you.
you later. Walks off.
And I go to my room.
Yeah, great. And now we have to deal with Jules' absolute nonsense. Okay.
It's gonna be even worse because Jules' home life is just chaos.
Yeah, great. So you arrive home to. Okay, what are the ages of Igor, Vladimir, Ivan, and Dominic?
Here's the thing. Okay, so if I were to I don't have the exact ages, but Igor
they
is
all
the
younger than
smallest
you?
one. He's in kindergarten.
Uh-huh.
Then you have Vladimir and Ivan, who are both in primary school, and Dominic in middle school.
Okay, yeah. You walk home, you enter the lounge, and we have Igor being held up by Vladimir and Ivan as Dominic's like, throw him! Throw him! Throw him!
Jules is gonna walk in and gonna look at them, used to it, and they're gonna be like, you know that if you throw him, nothing will happen. Roll him down the stairs.
I think Babushka, who is sat in the living room, is like, don't you dare.
Jules
I
is
may be
gonna-
old, but I'm not going to let you throw my youngest grandson down the stairs.
Jules is gonna turn to their grandmother and fake disappointment and be like, you really think I would let your grandson be rolled down the stairs? I was joking, Babushka.
She kind of reaches out a hand to you. Well, Jules, we all know that's what happened to you. So,
It wasn't on purpose, and I'm blaming Dad.
so do I.
Okay.
Is this the right vibe for Babushka?
It is. She's probably sitting in her chair watching Turkish telenovela and yelling at the screen every time something
Yeah.
happens. And
She's a little bit batty, a little bit strict, but in a playful way. I would, yeah.
yeah,
Cool.
that is the right vibe.
Do you think Father is home?
Father is probably going to come in maybe a little bit after Jules.
Uh-huh.
He works a lot, and he's always very tired. He's kind, he's very nice, but he's always tired, and as soon as he sits down on the couch, he probably falls asleep.
Yeah, cool. I think Katia is in the kitchen. Listen, I'm not saying that all women should be in the kitchen. I just think these specific family setups are designed in a way
Yes.
that is what we've ended up with.
Yes.
I just want to make this clear. I think this is of the time, of the setting, and of these characters. Ashka's mum doesn't work in the kitchen. She just looks at it and it thinks it's like, that's nice. Thank you for having this. And makes everyone else cook their own stuff. And I would say that Elsie's father also does a lot of the cooking when he's not busy at the garage. But is Owen's cooking good?
Yes.
It's
He has
great.
been taught well.
It is great. It is proper Welsh hearty food. It's too much.
He's good at stews.
It's too much.
He's really good. He makes an entire like crock pot every single time, and they end up giving it to the street.
Yeah, they make too much, and Owen will, on his way to work, stop off and drop it off at places. Would Antonio's dad cook?
Yeah, I would think both my parents would cook, but it's like very specific.
Yeah,
My father cooks like Spanish cuisine, and my mother cooks a lot, and my mother probably cooks, and sometimes my parents probably team up, and then they might fight over what we're going to cook.
They are absolutely going to team up when your friends come around.
Yeah, because like Spanish, like mainland, Iberian Peninsula cuisine, and Puerto Rican cuisine are not the same.
No.
They come from the same place, but there's so many extra spices and
there have been many
Sure,
arguments in the house about which spice to use in a certain moment.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean?
They probably fight over goulash all the time.
Yeah.
Because goulash is Mediterranean, but Puerto Ricans make it, and it's not the same. Like,
Jules, do you think that your dad cooks? Or is he just always working?
Whenever it's weekend, probably.
Cool.
He probably cooks like shit though.
Yeah.
And Babushka always loses her mind over it, and she's like, "What do you mean you're not gonna season the food?"
Yeah. I get. Yeah, that is the vibe I'm setting up between your dad and Babushka, is that they are at each other's throats, but like in a loving way. But like,
yes.
Why were you the one who married my daughter?
Yeah.
She deserves so much better, and now we're stuck with you. Great. I hope that clears things up. I was just checking myself and what I was creating, but I did feel like it was very 90s and very like these are the only straight couples in the fucking town. So that we've introduced so far. So, you know, it's fine, I think. I'm just making sure I'm not Stephen Moffating myself. Anyway, so yes, Jules, your brothers are play fighting, and you speak to your mum comes to speak to you.
Yes.
How are things, Jules? You all good?
Jules is gonna be smiling to her and giving her a hug and being like, "Oh yeah, it's all good, just hanging out with friends and everything. Sorry I couldn't drop by the grocery shop for another shift. Are we good on this month's rent?"
Yes, we should be. If you could do the weekend, that would help us figure out food for the next few weeks.
Yeah, sure. That sounds okay. I can also probably get something back home when I finish my shift.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you. She says this every time. She goes to say it but never manages to get the words out. And it's this like, I wish I didn't have to ask you to do this, but we don't really have an option.
Yeah, and Jules gets it. They're not really complaining about it a lot. Well, they used to when they were younger, but then they probably saw the bills piling up and everything, and that's when they were like, "Yeah, no, I'm gonna do this. I'm not gonna put my brothers to work," and that's why they work.
Yeah, great. I think before she kind of heads off, could you looking over to the brothers?
I got it. And then Jules is gonna stump over and just pick up Igor over his shoulder, and then go ahead and just kind of drag him along and be like, "Come on, time to eat.
What is this? This is nonsense. Nonsense, I tell you. We're living in a what was the word, Dominic? Dictatorship. Dictatorship. We're living in a dictatorship ruled by you, Jules, and we're not having it anymore. We're not having it. We've got together, and we're having no more of this.
Listen, you either go and eat your dictatorship at the table, or you're having no borscht. I'm gonna eat it all by myself.
I think Dominic pulls out a little book, which is called Animal Farm. Can we seize the means of babushka?
Jules is gonna look at them all offended and be like, "You want her to take your side?" Yeah, sure, okay. Knock yourselves out.
I think no one in the family has noticed that Dominic is reading books way beyond what he should be reading. And it's like, especially this book is like, you sure, mate? Yeah.
Jules probably noticed.
I think Jules has noticed,
like,
but the rest of the family
yeah.
are just like a little bit oblivious to it, and there's too much going on to really pay attention. Jules, I think you've probably started studying it at school, has studied it at school, so yeah, it's just like, I think Dominic's maybe the smartest of your brothers.
Yes, absolutely.
But uses it to be a menace. It's like I got to add this to my skill set of things to throw at my family. This is so much fun. I am going to cut away because I'm aware of time. And we're going to go to Ace. So Ace, I have the first question, which is, what is your family like and who do you live with?
Okay, so I've got a 3-bedroom house. I've got 3 brothers, Thomas, Jacob, and Gabriel. So Tom, Jay, and Gabe. And then
whoa,
Mum
can
and
you
Dad.
slow down for a second? I'm trying to write these down. Thomas, Jacob, and
Gabriel.
Okay, yeah.
And then you've got Mum and Dad.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Henry,
Yeah,
who's in the forces,
yeah.
and Imogen, who's a nurse.
Okay. What is
It's a 3-bedroom house, so there's not enough bedrooms for all the people.
Mhm.
So 2 of the brothers share, and Ace and the eldest brother have to share a room.
Who's the eldest?
Thomas.
Thomas, yeah. What's the vibe of the house?
Busy.
Busy.
Full. A lot of people and not a lot of room.
Yeah. So, you've kind of expressed over the course of this 4 sessions before now that you are that Ace is desperate for approval of the family in some way. Why is that a thing that they feel they need?
So she's the youngest.
Uh-huh.
So she's kind of been left to her own devices to just kind of like get on and just do. She's also the only girl, so all the older brothers are just kind of like have already been like brought up and they know what to do with them, and they're not really sure how to differ from that. So
Yeah.
she's just kind of been brought up as one of the lads, but she's not, and so she always finds like she's trying to prove herself as good as them.
Cool. What do your brothers do once because have they all left school, or are some of them still in school?
I guess Thomas would have left school.
Yeah.
And then I guess the other 2 are only like a year or 2 older than her.
Mhm.
So they'd be like getting up to 18.
Yeah.
So they'd be at college or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe they go to a college which is just outside of town. For sure. is Thomas considering joining the forces as well, or does he want to do something else?
I think he didn't want to do that,
Mhm.
although it's kind of like was kind of assumed
Yeah.
that he would. I imagine he's done a lot of like work with the firefighters to like help them out. He still wants to do something where he feels like he's helping and is doing something, but didn't want it to be the forces. I think Jacob's more likely to do that.
Cool. So I think you walk in through the door and you hear, "It's the star of the day! Whoa!" As you come through the door. Got a football captain here! Football captain! Have you heard this? Football captain! And like your brothers surround you and like lift you up and bring you into the main room where your dad and mum wait. Football captain! When were you going to tell us?
Oh, well, it was all a bit sudden.
Listen, you have put the work in, I'm sure. So, we just want you to know we're proud of you.
I mean, I didn't really earn it. It's just the space was open.
Did any of your brothers make it to football captain? No, not even Thomas made it to football captain. But you done something they couldn't do. Shows them how good, shouldn't have underestimated you. Roll me a grit check of 7.
Easy money, 18.
They're not acting normal. Something's wrong. This is not your family. They look like your family. They sound like your family. But this is not how they were going to react to this in your head. And you know something is wrong. And in that moment, you see it. The strings on each of them, as if marionettes. And you look up to see Chatterbox puppeting each of them.
Okay. I think she would just be like, well, it was, this is great, lovely, great to see you all. It's been a couple of days. I'm knackered though. I'm gonna go to bed. Okay, bye.
Of course. We're going out for dinner tomorrow. Our treat
Okay.
for you.
Okay. Yep.
And yeah, you go to your room where you get into your bed or whatever you do, and you see Chatterbox is still above your house as if it was a toy house that you were in.
I think she's going to climb out the window and leave.
I think as you run away from the house, you find yourself in a diorama of the town. And Chatterbox takes the house in his hand and pulls it up out of the town. You are back in the real town and your home is gone. And you see your family for a second standing and waving, and then they disappear. They are so proud of you. And I will be proud of you if you follow out on our deal.
This isn't how I wanted it. It's all fake. It's all really fake.
Yes. It's brilliant, isn't it?
No.
And that is where we'll leave it for this episode. That
Oh no.
is the consequences of your actions.
No.
Oh boy, there really is a killer amongst us.
Yeah, well done everyone for making it through the episode. Next time we will finally meet Arthur, and we might get a little bit more answers out of this mystery. I'm gonna let everyone say goodbye. We'll start with Hector, and then Hector can run.
Yeah. Hi. I am Hector Reyes. You can find me on all over social media at KHEOKami, Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram. You can see me here on Mondays over at the Greater Restoration, where we're playing Tears of a Blue Rose. Here on Wednesdays, trying to avoid dying as Antonio. And then coming up at the end of the later this month will be my Powered by Wanderhome folklore punk fantasy, The North Star, which has 2 people from this show in it. So, yeah, and it'll be amazing. So come see me and follow me, and it'll be great. I'm gonna run because day jobs are day jobs, and time is not on our side. Thank you, everybody.
Bye, Antonio. And Antonio's about to ruin our entire overlay. So, by leaving,
Bye.
don't worry. We'll just do the rest of this with weird faces. There we go. We're absolutely buggered now. So, I'm not going to fix this. It's too much effort. So we'll say goodbye to Elsie, who's currently between 2 screens.
Hi, I'm Magpie. I've been playing Elsie. You can find me most places at Antique Horror. Pretty much mostly just Twitter/X and Blue Sky. But I'm there. I write. I don't have anything to plug just yet, but give me a few months and maybe.
Great. Vice, we can't see your face, but it's fine. Vice, say goodbye.
No, my beautiful face. Okay. Goodbye, everyone. I am Rice Cakes. You can find me on social media at the same name as my Twitch, especially on Twitter. My Instagram is just random photos. Don't check that out. But do look at my Blue Sky and Twitter because I might be opening my commissions again.
And look how good this art is. It's so good that you've ignored the fact the overlay's broken.
Yeah, exactly.
Blue.
Hi, I'm Blue. You can find me on the internet under Sanguis Blue. I don't have anything going on at the minute other than this stream because I'm moving house. So yeah, next week
you are. That's why I took it away.
Next week I might also be in the ether of Chatterbox's universe. But we'll see. Yeah, I have nothing else to plug.
Great. Alex?
Blue, you have some great cosplay images on your Instagram recently.
Oh, I do. That's true.
that.
Thank you. Good PR.
You bet. I don't know where my thumb is if it's still on the show.
You and Blue are fine.
Oh yeah. I have great luck as a person, not as a character. Hey everybody, I'm Lex Wilson. My friends call me Alex. Thank you for watching. I've been playing Asher, who, not to brag, has survived an entire episode of Hallows Vale. I'm Alexotica on Twitter, lexwilson.bsky.social on Blue Sky, lexwilson.com for everything else. Something to promote, a video game. I had a very small part in the writing and the narrative is I think is currently one of the highest rated VR games on Steam VR or the Quest 2 and 3 from Facebook or Meta. I could take zero credit for that, but I am proud to have been a small part of the Eye of the Temple. It's called EYE. It's a very cool, very creative use of VR hardware, and it's an Indiana Jones type puzzle game. Check it out. I'll put the URL in the thing.
Great. Hello, I have been Callum and will continue to be Callum after the stream ends. You just won't see me unless you find me on the internet at Fear to Callum. What do I have to plug? I am currently a very busy person because I wrote a very long blog about a thing where a theatre company's done a bad thing, I think, and now I've called them out for it, and it's caused a whole lot of things to happen. It's a lot of work, that blog post, so if you would like to read it, even if you don't know what it is, I would appreciate people giving it a read and listening to my words, and let's encourage discussion on these things more, because if we don't talk about it, things won't bloody change, which is what my job is apparently now, for free, yay. Do I have anything else to plug? I'm not doing anything for a while, am I? The Misadventurers League will be part of a stream this Saturday for Horde of Tales, which will be raising money, and there'll be a conversation that people from this channel, not I don't think from this game, but people from the channel will be talking about neurodiversity in the TTRPG actual play space. I wish I could be there, but I'm meeting my friends in real life for the first time in like a year, so fuck that. Yeah, that's it. Also, much to my own chagrin, I have released a song which was This Is Halloween, a full parody of This Is Halloween, as a promise I made during a charity live stream for Roll for Good. Don't go and watch it for your own sake. It's awful.
Oh, watch it. It's great.
And that's me for now, I think. Remember that game bundle for Gaza? Please consider getting it and donating money to help with the biggest humanitarian crisis currently happening. Anything else? I think that's it. Oh, also, if you live in the UK, this is free advertising for the BBC. All of Classic Who is now on iPlayer. Well, most of it. It's a bit complicated. It's worth a watch, some of it. I'm writing a guide to help people watch it. If you'd like it, let me know. Keeping it private, because I would like to write for the BBC one day, specifically on Doctor Who, and if they find out my opinions, they may have to shoot me. That is the end of the stream now. We're going to go. Bye forever, I guess. We'll be back next week. Some of us, at least. Bye!